Let's bring on board the MD and CEO of Union Bank, Manimekhalai. And very good afternoon actually very good morning. And let us just dive right in. Let's talk about firstly. Talk to us about your corporate performance coming in over there. How is the book performing in terms of that? And where are you seeing the demand coming in from? Are they availing any working capital?
Working capital limits, see, if you look at our loan portfolio right now, term loans are the ones we're getting many. Working capital may be about in the ratio of 80-20, that is what we are looking at. And you may have seen there has been a lot of growth in the corporate structure. We are seeing growth to not to a great extent, but of course working capital limits are also being availed. There is a lot of traction in the availment of BGs and LCs by the corporates.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. If you look at your NIMs in the quarter gone by, it stood at around 3.15%, which is actually strong. But do you believe that there will be pressure on the margins in the high interest rate regime that we've actually entered into?
Yeah, we feel that the NIM at 3.15 what we showed, it was due to largely because of interest on advances. We did not get much on other incomes like treasury income. We were not able to get so much of treasury income, but interest on advances is what our focus was, and core income was what we got. So I am sure that we will be able to sustain that NIM level of 3%.
I just want to understand in terms of the bank had guided keeping the gross non-performing assets under 9%, and now that being achieved, what is your outlook on the asset quality?
Yeah, the guidance was to come below 9% with regard to GNPA, and NNPA was regard to coming down below 3%, which we have been able to reduce in the H1 itself. We were able to achieve these numbers. As on date, when you look at this, my NPA recovery is to the extent of 8,900. My guidance was to recover about 15,000 crores for the whole year. I'm sure we will be able to reach that numbers.
Right. Let's talk about recoveries and what sort of target have you set for yourself for recoveries, and also if you could shed some light if that will be largely via NARCL.
See, we have received LOIs for 3 accounts, and we have set aside something like 5,000 to 6,000 crores that has to be resolved through the NARCL. And there is a lot of traction in the NARCL accounts, and going forward, we should be able to recover that kind of amount.
Ma'am, you did touch upon, QIP, but are you looking for a QIP in this current fiscal year?
Yeah, QIP, we would be looking at the present, looking at the market scenario right now. We were a little apprehensive, but now going forward, if not in the third quarter of the year, we will be able to raise in the fourth quarter of FY23.
All right, we leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show and talking about the quarter gone by for Union Bank and where you see it headed from here on. And that was the MD and CEO of Union Bank.